Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Sorry for whipping that around there for a second. Don't know what that was about. The Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. Cavendish. I've said it like 50,000 times. Why I'm having a hard time now, don't know. But there you go. Scorpio. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, so this is okay, let's see where we're going with this. It seems like it starts in the environment. This is a minor arcana, I gave you that, but I'm still feeling like this is where it comes from. Success in the environment. Excuse me. Somebody's having a hard time, or has been having a hard time, with some type of project. For some people, it seems like it's almost like schooling, or it almost seems like work-related, maybe a report. It feels very technical in a way, like a lot of keyboard or analysis stuff. General read, it doesn't have to be that way, but it's basically something they've been having a hard time with. Could be horse training. Very left field in my opinion, but there you go. Something they've been having a hard time with, getting it to go right, getting things to work out, has now hit a moment of success, where whatever the previous problem was, it's kind of like something finally went into place where they needed it to, and they're having a lot easier time with it. They found the way they need to do it to make it better for themselves. So this happens, and I feel like you're very supportive of this, okay? So when you see this happening, you don't want that to fail. You want that to keep going well, and you're trying to do things that support it and promote the continuation of the success. The High Priestess is telling me, when you see this level of success, though, it's kind of like you don't want to poo-poo it. You don't want to like shoot it down, but you're like, oh wait, I don't know how long that's gonna last for whatever reason. You're like, they're doing good right now, but I can see where this could not last too long. I'm hoping it does last, but you're trying to help them continue on this. Like, if it can last, I want to help them. I want to help them make it last. But you're worried, like, I don't know if that's going to keep working. Like, whatever they found to make things go better, you're like, I think that has a shelf life. But I want it to work, so I'm going to get in there and try to help. I'm going to try to keep it going for them. I'm going to try to help them, encourage them, do what I can to support it. And you got some creativity here, kind of like, anything you could think of to make this go better or to keep this going good, okay, let's do that. Cool. Yeah, that's all about it. You're not doing anything like to deter them. That's the least you want. You don't want that. You don't want that at all. But you are seeing the truth of it is what I'm getting. Kind of like, oh, I don't know how far that's going to last. I don't know. I think it's got a shelf life. I mean, I've had readings where I've said this to people, like, I'd rather be wrong, but I have a feeling I'm not. It's one of those things, and you see it coming. You kind of see it coming. You don't want it. You don't want it to have a bump. It's going to have it though, and you see it coming. The Three of Swords with fertility comes in. You are helping this not faceplant. It's kind of like this is somebody tripping on the sidewalk, and before they faceplant on the pavement, you're kind of catching them a little bit. And you're like, yeah, I know, you kind of had a snag here, but you've been doing good. Let's get back up. Let's get back up and let's keep trying. Let's not give up. I know, you were doing really well, and this snag happened. I kind of saw it coming, so I was here waiting for you. That way I was going to try to help you through it. I'm seeing that it caught you anyway. I understand that. Let's get up and let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's go. Let's not stop. Let's not let this bring us down. Let's keep going. And you keep using, I feel like your energy is kind of pulling the let's us keep going. Like, you're trying to make them feel like they're not alone. You're like, come on, we can do this. We can keep going. Like, you're trying to make them feel like somebody's there feeling it with them, and you are. Like, you have a lot of apathy, sympathy. Maybe they might be a little apathetic, because I feel like when this stumble happens, they're having a hard time with it. Um, they are having a hard time with it. I'm seeing you put in a lot of energy trying to convince them to get up and try again. They had a hard time with it for the longest time. They really started to have some success. You saw the stumbling block coming. They stumbled. You're trying to help them not fall flat on their face. You're putting a lot of energy into this, kind of like, hey, don't give up. No, 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 come on, you were doing good again. I know it's been hard for the longest time, and then it seemed like you were doing good and you stumbled again, but that's okay because you're making progress, and let's just keep going. It's taking a lot of energy to get these people to keep going. Oh, goodness. You're trying so hard to not let this person do that, but they're abandoning it. I'm not really a fan of that because I'm feeling like you're telling them, just don't give up and this can be okay. Don't give up and you can return to that success. It's just, if you give up, you will definitely fail. If you try, sooner or later, you'll have more success. You'll have more than what you have by giving up, that's for sure. They're giving up. They're walking away, though. Okay, I feel like that's what the first thing they're saying. They're giving you a heads up that when this energy starts to disconnect, you're doing everything you can to keep them from doing that. It's sad. It makes me feel bad. Now, I feel like you're trying to give this person another chance to pull back in. I'm hoping this is going to go well. Let's find out, because I don't literally know just yet. I'm seeing the cards here, and they could go left or right. We got to get there first. Isis Inspiration, is that what this is? Yep. You found a different way. And you're seeing something that you think they're going to like. You're bringing forth these ideas with the Seven of Cups. The reason it's the Seven of Cups is like they're only ideas unless you can convince this person to make them actually happen. That you can't make these happen. You can give this to the other person, but this other person, they're the ones that have to make this happen. You're trying to help them again. They're like, no, you can't give up. Please don't give up. They've got these two cards. The Five of Pentacles with the Destiny. Okay. They're feeling completely off on their own and by themselves. So you're coming towards them. You're trying to help them. I feel like you keep trying to impress upon them. You're not alone. I know that I don't understand exactly how you feel on this, but I want to help you stand up. I want to help you be okay. I want to help you have that success again. Destiny is telling me they are meant to keep going. They are meant to keep going. They are. And you're trying to help them with this. You're trying to remind them of their own true spirit. It's like for some reason it's almost like there's an emotional disconnect and they're not connecting to their own inner voice that's trying to get them to stand up and keep going. For some reason there's like an emotional disconnect and you're trying to jumpstart that. That seems to be your role in this situation, to try to jumpstart that. Like, come on, like, don't give up. It's your destiny to continue and to sooner or later have success. Don't give up now. Come on, we can do this. And I feel like you keep trying to impress upon that. Like, you're not in life alone. It may feel like you're going through this situation by yourself, but I care what happens to you, and I want this to work out. I don't want to leave you, like, just flat on your face. Like, please, stand up. Please, let's start trying again. It's very heart-wrenching, in my opinion. It makes me feel upset. Like, I understand this person just feels like they're never going to win. And you're trying to jumpstart their enthusiasm. Like, no, you gotta... Sometimes it's a struggle for a long time, but as long as you're fighting, you have a chance to really get somewhere. And it feels better to actually fight and try to make something happen rather than just sitting down and admitting defeat. You know, it's like, please don't accept defeat. You're trying to tell them that. Now, the first thing I feel like to really start moving this in a better direction, because it does not feel easy, it's got to be cut down. Like, the situation has to be minimalized. I don't know if it's got to be cut up a little smaller. It's kind of like, while you could handle the amount that they need to do, it seems to be too much for them. So, like, whatever they were doing before to get the success, I feel like it has to be minimized a lot more. I feel like it's got to be minimized. The Ace of Swords is telling me you have to work with this person. It seems like whatever the reason is, you do have an effect here. If anybody's going to listen, it seems like it feels like it's you. Like you listen to them, you're listening to them, and that's what they need. I feel like you also have the ability to put forth other ideas. Like maybe there's something else wrong here emotionally. It's a general read. Take that with a grain of salt. Like maybe somebody's a little bit, there might be a depression problem is what I'm getting, or some type of anxiety. Don't self-diagnose that. Bring that to a professional, somebody who's trained in that. Because I feel like what I worry about with that is like somebody might be like, I have this, and they try to do the things that they think will make that better when they don't really have that, and the things they're doing that they think will make it better will not make it better. It could exasperate the situation. So you want the proper people to like be like, well, wait, this is what's actually happening. Maybe they can help. Because I feel like there might be something like that where, you know, they might need professional help. They might. And I feel like you listening to them, because you're listening, you might click into something and be like, oh, like, wait a minute. Like, that sounds serious. Don't self-diagnose. Be careful. You want to get them to the proper person that you trust to help them, because I feel like I feel like that happens a lot in life. Like people self-diagnose things and they think they know what's going on, and then when they do the things that are linked to that, or people say, well, if you have this, do that, it doesn't help, and it could make things worse. You gotta be careful. Not because it's detrimental, but because it doesn't supply that relief. And when it doesn't supply that relief, then this person starts to think, wow, I'm really that bad. And then that's how it could double back. So that's why you want to be careful of that. There's something like that. This is going to have to be minimalized a lot. Bring it down. Whatever level they were trying to succeed at, it's got to come down a lot. And then when it's down at this other lower level, I'm getting like there might be like, I feel like for a lot of them, there's something like anxiety or depression or something. It just seems out of my wheelhouse to really understand what's going on there. Something might be a little bit off kilter that they really can't help. I know I have friends that have like learning disabilities who are really smart people, but they've had to learn ways to handle those learning disabilities so that they don't hinder them and that they can still succeed. It might be something like that, which is another thing it's like if you think it's depression and you give somebody something for depression or try to help them with depression and it's really a learning disability, it's not going to fix it. You know, it's not going to make things better for them, and they probably won't talk about it because maybe they're not realizing that that's the problem. I know a lot of people I grew up with that thought because they were bad at math, they just thought they were stupid, and they never were. They had, I think, like there was some. It wasn't dyslexia; it was something else. But basically, it's like it was beyond their control until they learned the tools to handle it, and then they could succeed with it. Then they could deal with it and move past it. And I still feel like these people, they keep that stigma of thinking they're stupid, and they're not. So that's another reason why you want to be careful about how you handle these things, because things go on in people's heads, and they'll believe things that aren't true. And once they truly believe that, it's hard to backtrack it. Did we go off on enough tangents on that one? Maybe not. Because I feel like it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of study. I'm covering that. It says study there. A lot of research to figure out what needs to happen next. This person is meant to succeed, but their destiny is to get past this hurdle. You talk or listening to them and giving suggestions on what to try and going to people who can really find out the problem. That's your role here, and I feel like this is very meaningful for you. This is how you could truly help this person advance past this situation. I hope that helps. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I really do hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.